Hi, Treyarch. So, the list of changes is basically every single thing that I've talked about, many of them before Grief even came out, because you could see what the game was going to turn into just by looking at what was available. I didn't even need to be in their out of touch playtest to tell you some of this was not going to work. And the reason I say their playtest was a joke, in case they are watching, it's not meant as disrespect, it's because the hour of footage Noah released the day before it came out was two teams that didn't understand Grief, so nothing was really getting tested. You're not getting valuable playtest information if people aren't actually making use of the indirect PvP mechanics. The first 30 seconds of that Noah footage, I immediately noticed one single drive-by melee punch and dissected that 1 second of footage to say people are going to get locked down by the knife. And then that's what happened. I must be a genius. Not really, I'm just a perceptive kind of guy. Now, I'm not saying they watch top griefs, but some of these are very specific things that I mentioned, so who knows? If they do, that's cool. I'm the biggest grief guy on the planet, and I try to be objective. If I'm abusing things to get wins, I'm going to call it out to be fixed. So they look like good changes because they empower aggression and take away from escape options. There's just too many escape options. Some of these games I've posted video clips from, they lasted over an hour because there's just no way to kill someone that has 20 different things they can do to survive, and they're all rechargeable, so they can just cycle through them over and over. We talked all about this before it even came out. Most of the players you run into on Grief are cannon fodder. They get wrecked in 5 to 10 minutes, but those players are casuals, and they're always going to get wrecked. So it's easy to farm clips off them to share, and it gives a bad impression if that's all you see, because when there's actually a good player in your lobby, they just won't die. It's like the game goes on and on because they keep popping something. There's always one more option to stay alive in this game. So let's look at what we have. Melee spam. They're doing the one thing I said they should. And this isn't me running a victory lap, it just seems the most reasonable. Reducing the stun effect. Nothing else about Melee is a problem. Once you've played real competition, yes, the casuals get spammed down in 5 minutes. Guess what? You could nerf everything, and they'd still just die to the zombies themselves in 5 minutes. You can't get a gauge from that. In real lobbies, with real competition, the melee stun is absolutely outrageous because you just can't move. You physically can't counter it other than look them in the face and spam them right back. That's all you can do. There has to be an escape window from being knifed, and now there will be one. You can't get your next stun on them until the current one wears off. People around here should be rejoicing and happy. Skillful knife fights are back on the menu. The only way to stun lock someone now will be perfectly timed hits right as the stun wears off. Otherwise, if you're just spamming, your hits might land just before the stun wears off and then they're gone. Increasing how much it takes to charge Aether Shroud. Again, we talked extensively about it before the game even came out. People are going to spam the shit out of Aether Shroud, and it's exactly how it went, because why would I use anything else? There's really no convincing argument for me to use the others. So this is a great change. I feel like on average, you shouldn't end a full game having popped more than 2 Aether Shrouds. Whatever needs to happen to get it there would be welcomed. It needs to be a super rare last option thing, and maybe it will be now. Take out Power Keg and the Speed Cola augment to speed its charge as well. They're going to reduce salvage. Hallelujah. We just did a video on that. Also, limiting the amount of self-revives. Fantastic as well. People say this or that is OP. No, the crafting table is truly OP to any decent player that knows what they're doing. Now, on to the third one. And this is where we start to diverge. This is called going down with a sinking ship. The high-level, good players do not want to do the capture zones. That is not Grief. It wasn't in the original. And since adding it to the new one, only the randoms do them. Good players don't even bother. Not because the debuff isn't strong enough, but because it's not how people want to play Grief. And so they're doubling down and probably going to make them so impactful, you just won't have a choice, because otherwise you'll lose once you're hit by the debuff. I don't agree on this one, but there wasn't any chance Treyarch would admit, hey, people don't like capture zones, let's just take them out and give you classic Grief. Never gonna happen. That takes true balls of steel to do that, and I've almost never seen any developer do it. So I wasn't expecting it here. Capture zones are here to stay, unfortunately, but my god, Treyarch, tread lightly with these debuffs, because this shit could tip the scales and drive away all the hardcore players, and they're the ones that are going to stick around and buy your overpriced gobblegums. The game is called Grief. We don't want to kill zombies. If we did, we'd be on survival mode. So I 100% agree with the other changes, but making the debuffs even stronger seems like doubling down on something people already don't like in an attempt to make it so impactful you just can't ignore it anymore. I don't really care for that kind of forcing shit onto your player base. If the players reject it, then you scrap it. Stay in touch with the players and what they want. I understand it's months of development time being thrown away. No one wants their hard work thrown away, but I just have not come across one serious player, someone who really enjoys Grief and is good at it, that is into capture zones. The formula was already perfect. This is like when they remastered the original Star Wars trilogy and added in all kinds of extra CGI that made people hate it, and nowadays they try and find high-quality sources of the original prints. It didn't need a twist. It was already great as it was. And lastly, Treyarch, if you are listening, clearly you can see I really enjoy Grief on 6. I think it's great. Exceeded my expectations, no question. But please, give the people private lobbies. It's what they want. It's what they need. Squad fill off. Private lobby where you can pick the teams and the starting round. That's all we need. Just the bare minimum. Just those two options. The round and the team. And if you're worried about people tying up dedicated servers all day long, put a 30-minute time limit on all games that have squad fill turned off. There's your 30-minute average games you're after.